Hello everyone and welcome again to GSM City. Today we will be doing the review and breakdown of House of Dragons episode 8. Now in the beginning of this episode we saw Princess Rhaenys in Driftmark sitting on the throne of Driftmark, and she had a report that came to her about her husband Collins. Probably he's not gonna be making it because he sustained some injury in the battlefield. Then we saw the brother actually questioning who is gonna take over the throne of Driftmark, and also questioning the legitimacy of Rhaenyra's kids.
I am the sea snake's own blood, the closest kin he has left.
Be careful, good brother. None can take your words for treason.
My brother cares only for the history books. But what of the Velaryon line? Is it to be snuffed out? Supplanted by the pups of House Strong? Driftmark is mine.
Rhaenys actually, if you watch the last episode, episode 7, she did actually have a problem giving Rhaenyra's kids the throne of Driftmark, but Collins decided that it will go to Rhaenyra's kids, as history does not remember bloodline, but does remember names. So Princess Rhaenys respects her husband's choice, but Vaemond the brother is not happy with the decision made by Collins, and decided at the end to actually tell Rhaenys that she knows that, Rhaenyra's kids are not of Laenos, like you see in this clip over here.
The winds have shifted. The crown has good reason to take my side.
My cousin the king would have your tongue for this.
But it's not a king who sits the Iron Throne these days, good sister. It's a queen.
So we did know that he did sign for a petition against Rhaenyra. The next clip we saw Damien, digging up the dragon egg and giving it away, and then later on getting a message from King's Landing about the petition that Vaemond have put against Rhaenyra and about the Driftmark throne. But Rhaenyra was actually afraid because she thought they are going to be questioning the legitimacy of her sons, and also about her, and it might actually affect her throne, which Damien said they don't care about that, they just care about their Valyrian bloodline.
He means to call into question Luke's legitimacy. And by extension, Jace, and by extension, my own claim to the throne.
Vaemond cares only about Driftmark and the Velaryon line, not about our politics.
So off to King's Landing they went. Now in King's Landing we saw Otto Hightower and Alicent Hightower, in the council, actually having a discussion about the kingdom when Alicent got the news that Rhaenyra has arrived in King's Landing.
Your guests have arrived, Your Grace.
I trust they've been welcomed as befits their station.
As you instructed, Lord Hound.
It was my understanding Lord Corlys wished for his grandson, Lucerys, to succeed him as Lord of the Tides.
The boy has been raised most of his life away from Driftmark. He can fly a dragon, yes, but can he command a fleet?
Ability does not alter his claim.
So as, Alicent was about to walk out, she actually got a notification from one of the guards that something has actually happened with Aegon, obviously, the troubled child. With that being said, we cut into the next scene. So we see in this next scene, Rhaenyra and Damien visiting Viserys in his sickbed, and actually talking to him and also informing him about Sir Collins and also about the situation that is happening.
The sea snake has taken a grave wound in battle in the Stepstones. There is a petition to decide upon the succession of Driftmark and the heir to the Driftwood throne. Brother, listen to me. You are to affirm your position for Lucerys.
Episode we saw, Rhaenyra introducing two of her youngest children to her father, and him being very happy to see them, although the children were very scared and started crying. He did apologize. It kind of made me feel very bad for Viserys, and I actually felt so emotional in this particular episode for him, and I felt so sorry for him and what this man have sacrificed just to keep his family together. So in this next clip, we see, Alicent actually meeting with the girl that, Aegon have actually done something to. We all know what it is. But Alicent, I'm going to say in this particular episode was a little bit compassionate than the last episode that we've seen. And the fact that she understood the pain that the girl was going through and also warned the girl of not saying anything outside because, of course, people will stand against her. And she's a commoner. Like, what can she do? And also bribing the girl, giving her some money. So we saw the girl take, the potion that was given to her. We know what it is for. So, and then we cut into the next clip where Allison actually went to Aegon's room, woke him up. He didn't think he did anything wrong, and he just said she made a fuss out of it, which Allison got, mad, slapped him, and told him that, especially in this day, he has to behave this way, and literally disgracing the family. His wife, the sister, came in. The daughter was actually asking for that particular maid to come dress their children up, with which Allison literally hugged her daughter. Then we cut to the next scene. So in this next scene, we see, Aemon, Rhaenyra, and Alicent, they were talking about things that have changed in the palace, what has been going on. And Alicent replacing, the Targaryen statues to the ones with Otto Tower or whatever it was. And Rhaenyra saying they are not happy, thinking that Alicent is manipulating the king and using her might as a queen to rule everything, which Damien was not very happy about her decision on changing, the Targaryen symbol and replacing it with another. Now we're going to move on to the next one because I don't want to make this long. So in this next clip, we see, Rhaenyra's children go into the training ground and looking at all the soldiers being home again, and later on seeing a fight. Aemon was training with, say, Christian Cole, and they were impressed. It was very impressive. Now, Aemon being Aemon, just welcoming them in his own strange ways. And then we saw the gates open. Vaemon Valerian has just arrived, because of the petition that he has against Rhaenyra's children, taking over the Driftmark throne.
The realm has enjoyed a long peace, a credit to the work of both Jaehaerys and Viserys, but the threat of war looms and may arrive on our shores. When it does, will you want a child at the command of the greatest fleet in Westeros?
We must, of course, act in the interest of our subjects.
The next Lord of the Tides will be deeply in your debt, Your Grace.
The next scene, we see, Rhaenyra and Rhaenys actually having a discussion. And Rhaenys actually telling Rhaenyra that she killed her son, and Rhaenyra promising her in this particular scene, as you can see, that she did not, kill Laenor. And also, she gave a proposal to Rhaenys that she wants the grandchildren to be married to her own son, which would literally be their stepsister. God, it just keep getting better and better in this episode. Now, with that being said, Rhaenys actually did say some quite important things to her, saying, "Oh, is this a sign of weakness?" Which you can see in this particular, which is one of my favorite scenes. And Alicent said, "Does it matter?" Which was very nice, by the way.
And let us betroth Laena's children to mine. Baela will be queen of the 7 kingdoms, and her sons will be heirs to the throne. Rhaena will rule in Driftmark, and the seat will pass to her and Lucerys' children in time.
A generous offer. Or a desperate one.
What does it matter?
You can bargain with me all you like. Bring my granddaughter with you to soften my resolve. But tomorrow the High Towers land their first blow. They force you to your knees, and I must stand alone.
Now we move on to the next scene where we saw Rhaenyra, on her father's bed, begging him to stand by her, support her, and keep her son as the, Driftmark, give her son the Driftmark throne. And her father, just Viserys is just tired at this point. That man just want to be rested, but nobody's gonna give him peace, I don't think. So we are gonna move on to the next one. So in this next scene, we see, Sehai Tower and Viserys. Viserys getting his usual treatment, looking worse than he looked in the previous episodes, showing that he's probably gonna die in this episode. And we say Sir Otto Tower, giving him the milk, is it the puppy milk or the milk puppy, however they call it. And, Viserys saying he doesn't want it. He told Otto Hightower that he wanted to have dinner with his, with his whole family, that he should organize it, which he actually did later on. So move on to the throne room. Now we have the petition that is being put now on public. And, Vaemon actually had his own opinion and talked about the throne and talk about the bloodline because that is what he cares about more. And Rhaenyra cutting him off and saying, yes, you have the Valerian, bloodline, so does my sons, which even she knows is a lie. But, she's just trying to save face.
Unimpeachable blood of House Velaryon runs through my veins.
As it does in my sons, the offspring of Laenor Velaryon. If you cared so much about your house's blood, Sir Vaemond, you would not be so bold as to supplant its rightful heir.
What do you know of Velaryon blood, Princess? I could cut my veins and show it to you, and you still wouldn't recognize it. This is about the future and survival of my house, not yours.
So to everyone's surprise, Viserys actually came into this particular his throne room and decided to take this petition on himself to solve this problem, and asked where's Collins, and saying that we don't know if Collins is dead, but if so, the successor of Driftmark should go as Collins said, therefore asking Rhaenys on her husband's opinion on who is gonna be, carrying on the Driftmark throne, which Rhaenys actually stood by what her husband said. She never changed the word, but she also let the throne room know that, Rhaenyra have offered her sons to be married to her granddaughters, which she has accepted, which made everybody look a little bit like worried and knowing that, okay, they're planning, they have a plan. And with that being said, Viserys concluded that, okay, there is no problem. It is done, which Vaemon actually burst out, as you will see in this particular next clip.
That is no true Velaryon, and certainly no nephew of mine.
Go to your chambers, you have said enough.
Viserys is my true-born grandson.
You may run your house as you see fit, but you will not decide the future of mine. I will not see it ended on the account of this. Say it. Her children are bastards! And she is a whore.
Will have your tongue for that.
He can keep his tongue.
So he challenges Viserys and his, position, and talk about how Viserys have literally keep a blind eye on what Rhaenyra has been doing. Aemon actually liked the scene where, Damien literally cut off Vaemon's head. I mean, I think Aemon look up to Damien in some kind of way. He wishes he could be Damon. So, and I'm like, okay, you can outdo the duo. I mean, Damon is the original, but you can try though. Now we go into the next scene where Vaemon's, the next scene where Vaemon's body was being prepared by the Silent Sisters. And Rhaenys knows that this is all politics to Rhaenyra and the whole of the Targaryen family. She knows. Now we go into the next scene where they actually had, the dinner, and Viserys came in, they had some toast, they have some nice word, and he actually begged them, like Viserys literally begged them to stop fighting, that he does not want them to keep on fighting. And I'm gonna say this, I have never felt more sorry for him, poor man. I mean, he's been suffering the whole of the episode. Now, with that being said, after, Viserys left, as usual, Aemon started his problem in toasting and calling Rhaenyra's children three strong boys. I can't. He called them the Strongs, which busted into a fight.
Final tribute to the health of my nephews. Each of them handsome, wise, strong. Let us drain our cups to these three strong boys.
I dare you to say that again.
Why?
And I'm gonna say this, at this particular scene, you can see Alicent trying to reach out to Rhaenyra again. And I felt like she still feels some kind of connection. She still have some kind of feelings towards Rhaenyra. But Rhaenyra at this point really happy or not really having anything. She doesn't want to have so much to do with Alicent at this point. So in the ending of this episode, we saw, Alicent and Viserys in Viserys' sickbed. Viserys telling her about the Song of Ice and Fire. It's like he was talking about Daenerys the Targaryen, what is going to be happening in the Song of Ice and Fire. With that being said, after, Alicent left, we saw the short clips of, him just wins in a way, but we will see what happened in the next episode 9. With that being said, I'm gonna say this, please, if you haven't liked this video yet, please like and subscribe, and if you haven't seen my other videos on House of Dragons, please go back and watch it, and I will see you all on the next one. Have a great day and goodbye.